Yeah, Andy. Hello and welcome. You're listening to Let's Drone Out. Tonight, we are joined by everyone's favourite, Curry Kitten.
Hello.
The man with the moustache, Stephen.
Evening all.
Our wonderful guest tonight is Andrew Lawrence.
Oh yeah, how's it going?
And my darling wife, Tony.
Boo.
No, bonjour.
Bonjour.
And I am your host, Bowtie Fly. Hello, and welcome to everyone in chat. Tailspin, you're always first. What a hero. Magical Pencil, how you doing, buddy? If you fancy streaming, drop me a message.
Yeah.
There is a slot here for you if you want to ask some technical questions about.
And for those of you who can't count, we're not at 500 yet, but we will be next week.
Put your hands up if you can't count. Well done. Yay. As much as we would have loved to save you as episode 500, Andrew Lawrence, the guest that we have on was not even meant to be on episode 500.
I thought we'd have a little show with us lot just mucking about.
I think maybe it might be a little bonus after, I'm going to buy some party poppers, maybe get some...
no fireworks.
Yeah, I can get some if you want. But
A few cans of deodorant, some lighters, strap them off the plank together, be fine.
I stabbed myself in the thumb earlier, so I'm having a great time. So, anyway, our guest, hello, how are you? You're a new daddy, we hear.
Yeah.
How's that going?
So a little kid, probably like 6 months, coming up to 6 months now. So not much sleep, but don't know, quite life-changing overall.
Yeah,
it's all good. All going good.
Yeah. We were all absolutely stunned that we found out that you actually listened to us dickheads, and we are so sorry.
No. Every time I'm in the usually I don't watch the live stream, but I listen to it every time I'm driving in my van up and down the country and everywhere. You
get the clean version.
Yeah,
that's probably best for the best.
Yeah.
For the best.
I love it, man. I don't know. There's hardly any drone shows or podcasts or anything anymore, really. So I don't know.
It's hard to survive.
It's getting tough.
10 years talking complete and utter.
Right.
I remember last time officially we were the fourth best, but some of those people must have died by now. If we got any
they're dead and left. And
who wrote that we were fourth best? Maybe we should email them.
It was on some blog post or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can you find that? Can you have a little look-see-loo and be like, can you update it because we've survived our ignorance.
I don't think there's anyone that even really does a drone podcast. There's a few YouTube channels that have regular events, but there's no one that does a podcast that has numbered episodes.
No.
If the criteria is you have to do regular numbered episodes, I can't think of another one that does drone content.
I don't know how we done this. So Andy, you have been doing some incredible stuff. I wasn't given any show notes, but I hear that you have been chasing around very fast cars with something that looks like a penis.
Yeah. I've been doing usually do the F1 testing. So it's usually most of the time in Silverstone, and then we go to Bahrain. But this year it was because they had the big F1 event in London. Most of the sort of testing and filming was done in Bahrain this year. So no, it's always good. Just quite a lot of pressure and sort of high stakes. And just built with one of my friends called Toby. One of these.
It does look like a spaceship.
Based on an existing design or your own?
It's a bit of a, I don't know, hybrid of a few really. It's with I think he's called Luke Maxwell, is it, or similar from South Africa, and then
Did he do a green one of them?
yeah,
I've seen it.
that sort of mixed with some of Quad Movers stuff, and then the guys from Dutch Drone Gods that did the Red Bull one.
Oh yeah, they did
Yeah.
one as well, didn't they?
So you've taken that. Where does you've got a bunch of different influences from different people? Could you kind of walk through what influences you took from where when you were building it out? Because a lot of people have tried to do similar designs, right?
Oh
So
yeah, I
straight
think,
line
the more you
speed,
get-
some for other goals.
yeah,
We're number
It's-
2.
We're number 2.
According to this website,
Drone
which
You.
seems very good, 15 best drone podcasts, we're now number 2. We've
Wonderful.
gone up.
What,
We
who's
just have to
No.
know the called Ask Drone You, whatever that is.
Are they still running?
Australia.
Well, this is a list from March the 11th, 2025. So
They've got 90,000 Instagram followers.
Tony,
Oh,
you're going to have to get
we've
on
got-
our influence.
we've
Are
got
they real
no
followers?
Do socials, I
on
guess.
this, but we have got 71 Twitter followers, which compares favorably to their 5.7k.
They've been going since 2015. How come I haven't even heard of them?
No.
Interesting. But they probably haven't heard of us either. Okay. Sorry. Could we get back to Andy? Andy and his wonderful airframe there. He's been looking at all these different people,
Sorry.
and he's been influenced by a whole bunch of things, and he's drawn something up himself there, or with a buddy of his. Could you walk us through kind of what bits you took from where and what you were trying to build?
Yeah. So, well, Chris Rosser as well released one, but just the fact that you can't change any of the there's the 3D print files aren't accessible to everyone, and it always ends up that you need to alter little things, such as like the camera angle on these. Trying to fly, I don't know, it probably goes up to it can go up to 70-degree angle, and not having like a servo mounted in there, so you can take off with a lot shallower camera angle is like a massive thing. So we sort of just, I don't know, took an influence from a lot of different rockets, and then it's a culmination of them all together, I guess.
So did you say you've got a servo and not got a servo? In
Yeah. I'll take the shell off so you can see the
Okay.
inside of it.
Does am I right in thinking when you fly that fast, yaw and roll switch?
Yeah, it feels more like a wing or something, like some sort of plane that, like, when you go too slow, it feels like you're stalling, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It always needs to be sort of a reason. Well, when the camera angles, it's all like very dependent on the camera angle, to be honest. When it's at a low camera angle, it doesn't feel like, I think it's probably just a separation of the camera being so far away from the motors, so high up. Like, you can fly it with probably 30 degrees, and you can do split S's and like loops and stuff fine, but it just feels, I don't know.
Where's the battery and all that? It's the weight of the battery.
in the centre.
In the centre, yeah.
But I mean, how
You
far
must
away
go-
from the motors? I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So-
You must go through so many of them.
It depends how you're flying and what speeds, really.
Regular 6S pack or anything nuts?
That's 8S.
8S. Right.
Yeah. So
looking at the design of it, is the big thing that's slowing regular quads down the aerodynamics, because all I see on that is like it's a pointy shape, and the legs are sort of very curved, so the air's going to efficiently go around it.
And it looks almost
the
like a
big
regular
difference?
frame underneath it, right?
yeah, it's just like a solid X, like 6mm carbon plate, and then we've got vertical like carbon plates, obviously, to house a battery with straps, and then got all the VTX, like the
So
receiver.
you've got like a normal looking
Yes.
frame, but instead of the arms coming off in an X like on one angle, they're like coming off 90 degrees from the arse of it instead of halfway along it.
Yeah, it was more because it's quite the size of the batteries without cutting out the middle of like the frame or having arms to join. Obviously, you need to put the battery. Like we tried, I'm in the process at the moment of making another smaller one that isn't probably as fast, but still like more aero for doing sort of high speed stuff, but not like it's just more efficient, I guess. But for like slower speed than like I don't know F1 cars or like MotoGP or something similar to that.
So what kind of speeds does? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just the speed of it. This at the moment it's still quite in early development, really, but you can do about 370 kilometers an hour.
But what speed does that come into its own versus like a regular racing quad X layout type? I don't know what you call that because it looks like an X, but it's not an X. It's a rocket style, I guess. But what sort of speeds do you find that starts to become what you need instead of a regular, H frame or racing style quad?
Do you mean sort of speed wise or?
Yeah, like where does the handling of that suddenly like because obviously it's going to be a beast at low speeds and you've got to like kind of land it very carefully and everything. But when you get past a certain threshold, I'd have thought that becomes what you need, and otherwise you're just 100% throttle all the time on a traditional frame, right?
Yeah, I think it's just it feels like a lot. You're not pushing it to go like anywhere near as fast. Like today, I was seeing there's like some guys that obviously fly some of these like I don't know, it's them probably more X8s and X4 versions, and they can get like nearly 400 kilometers, but they just do it without aero, and it just like absolutely destroys the batteries. Whereas this, like so far, the batteries still seem pretty solid and haven't even like there's hardly any puffing or like have deformed. So I mean, it's only pulling probably, I know you say only, but like between 60 and 70 amps.
What, like a cruise speed?
That's at full throttle.
A full throttle? That's not too bad, is it?
Wow. No, so it's like actually quite conservative, really, of like the speeds that it's doing. But it probably can get about 4 minutes, probably between 100 and 150 like kilometers an hour.
And you're running a 2.28S, so 4 minutes on a 2.28S.
Yeah, and then you can probably do about 3 like full throttle punches that are around like 350, like 360.
So 3 straights, like following the car down the straights. Wow.
Yeah. What EFC you got in there?
It's Foxeer Reaper.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you haven't killed anyone.
Nope. It's been like fine so far.
But when you say like 60 to 70 amps, that's like total, right? Or wow. That's actually, because I mean, we've all done 100+ amp punch outs. That's actually surprisingly efficient. Okay, you're on 8S rather than 6S, but even so.
Yeah, so they're all like pretty off the shelf parts, really. But it's obviously the shell makes like such like, because we've only probably been messing about with it for about, I don't know, coming up to 2 months or something like that, as well as like obviously doing all the regular stuff. It's still like loads of prototyping that go on all the time. Like the other day we tried to make I don't know if you can see that sort of
ribs for a pleasure.
Yeah.
Rib for pleasure.
No, it's dimple. You got the old dimple press out.
Yeah.
As in golf, is it to like mimic golf balls?
Yeah, it's a mimic, just to see if it would make any. I don't know. It is quite tricky, but it did go 10 kilometers faster with this, but I don't know if
Oh.
that's because of possibly it's a lot lighter, the actual shell, because it's got so many dimples, and so I don't know. It's quite hard to test, especially because the wind changes so much. There's a lot of variables really to know, like, without spending loads on doing like fluid dynamic analysis to
Yeah.
all the time.
little-
Is
Yeah,
there any
that
air
makes it
ducts
danger.
into the battery compartment or anything like that to cool the battery down?
Must be like the lens where the
Yeah, there's quite. If
Cameras.
really, if you like look down it, there's fairly big. Like, it does get
knacker duct.
fairly warm in there. But it's fine really of all the times.
It's impressively efficient.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
So obviously the headline's the speed, but you're able to actually follow cars round corners, which is impressive, because most of the people that build a craft like this, they're obsessed with, like, let's just get it to 100% throttle, get the hero number, that's it. But you're actually following stuff around a fairly convoluted, tight track. How did you design it to do that, as well as those impressive straight line numbers?
Yeah, it's more from, I don't know, say looking at the Dutch drone gods, and rather than have the and just like general rockets, always the thrust is usually on the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, rockets are not famous for turning.
No. But it honestly, it doesn't feel like too bad. I thought it was going to be horrendous, like probably, but especially when you have low. I think the camera angle dictates a lot of how it actually feels like it flies, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like low camera angles and even at higher ones, the weird thing is it feels like it has a turbo, I guess. So like, and as well, like throttling down to catch really fast things just feels really like unnatural. I don't like, because you just think with because of fly quads.
You think you're following some incredibly expensive performance car, and you're like, surely I don't need to slow down.
Yeah, but just, I don't know, throttling down towards the ground just feels kind of wrong, if you know what I mean. And then there's not like, because the speed of it, it's so easy to overshoot the mark because you're coming in hot to it, and you're not going to slow down enough to it, like gently, to just sort of, yeah. There's still a lot to learn with it, to be honest.
So it doesn't like aero brake like a normal drone would. That's a side effect of all the aero on it. It doesn't have the drag and the natural tendency to brake itself, to slow down it.
It does deaccelerate fast, but I think it's just because the speeds are so much faster than you're used to. It's just, especially without, like, it's so, like, I've flown around an empty field so many times, but you just need so much experience, I guess, flying it with, tracking something that is actually fast enough to, like, warrant doing it with this. I don't know. There's quite a big sort of learning curve. It feels like you're starting all over again. You know, when you first, like, I don't know, filming like your mates that's flying about, it's quite easy when you start off to overshoot or to like lose them really easy, and it just feels like you've gone back to sort of square one on that in that sort of instance, really.
Yeah.
So
Did you have to do the experimentation on props? I asked because a friend of mine who used to fly really fast wings said when the props are spinning really quickly, you actually have to reduce the pitch, else they're not catching any air. I'm just wondering if you're running sort of regular props or you did any.
There's some like these ones are newer, like HQ. I think they're 5.2 by 8 pitch by blades. So they're pretty
quite aggressive.
Yeah,
they're quite a heavy pitch though, yeah.
But
stops them flattening out, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It needs to be like they're like nylon infused carbon, I think. So you need like really stiff props. Like your usual sort of like racing ones or whatever, you can hear it, they just flatten out, and you just don't get anywhere near the top speeds or anything similar.
You
to
haven't
that, to
gone
be
for
honest.
like carbon fiber props or anything insane yet, then?
No. So yeah, it's I don't know. It is quite. They're all like really accessible parts that you
Yeah,
can buy.
really.
If you know what I mean. It's not super specialist, I guess, in all respects.
Yeah, I think I'm running that, or probably an older version of that ESC in my 7-inch bird, the Fox Ear 8S1.
Yeah, they're like, I don't know, they're pretty bomb-proof overall, to be honest. A few of their flight controllers I've had recently have like had noisy gyros, but just I think that's like all flight controllers seem to be as of recent, to be honest.
Well, it just happens because people are experimenting with new designs, and it takes a while to settle down. Unfortunately, those nice old MPU 6000s, they were quite noise resistant, and move away from them caused everyone to have to redesign everything. Yeah, it's a bit of throwing at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Board layout. Yeah.
Oh, someone's got a meowy cat.
That's me.
Who's in the room, Curry?
Pop it on.
Bobbadom. Hello. What's the matter? You've had food. There you go, Jack. There's a poppadom for you.
Oh,
Ginger dog.
Poppadom. I love her.
Oh, God.
But no, another thing that has been like really sort of useful with the timing of this is just the DJI 04 coming out. Just the quality of that, and meaning that I only have one camera to deal with instead of sort of messing around with sort of naked GoPros within it, and it just means the whole is obviously can be a lot smaller. It just makes it a lot simpler, really.
How's the 04 video quality being received? Are people happy with it?
I think because it's a bit of a specialist like drone, like because even with the GoPros, when you're going so fast, there is like small micro vibrations and whatever happening, and there's like a lot of blur. So the actual quality for, I don't know, unless you were a color grader, you would probably never know the difference, I think, between a GoPro and the quality of that, to be honest. And just, I don't know, as well, the video link on the 04 is just crazy. It's just like half the time you don't even have to think, oh, am I flying behind something? It's just like...
Can you get around the whole track, or do you have to like work within the same stretch and double back on yourself? How does that work out? Silverstone's not too big, is it?
No, it's not like again, you'd have to have a repeater, like because Walksnail have just brought out one, haven't they? The repeater for it. But as well, especially for the F1, there's so much like around all the risk assessments and everything. It all has to be done completely legit. Like, and it's just it keeps getting gnarlier and gnarlier. Like, we spent probably way over 2 months just going back and forth with like the F1 and risk assessment, like little bits. So it sort of all has to be above board, really.
Yeah. Well, when you say above board, what pushes you?
25 milliwatts, baby.
Yeah, you're in a pretty noisy environment with a bunch of broadcast video gear. I can't imagine they're all running 25 milliwatts. It probably is a bit of a noise problem, isn't it?
A lot of the time, like because Bahrain was just a test in this year, and they went to Australia, didn't they, for the first one? It wasn't any of the live stuff, but a lot of the time there isn't really. I'd hate to actually be at one of the races doing it, like the RF from all that, and just the amount of people would be crazy, I think.
Yeah.
So it'd be a lot more tricky, I think, in an actual live risk, like something like that. But again, I don't know. It would be, at least when we're filming, you're just filming one car. So say if you're doing a follow shot, so if something goes wrong, it's gonna probably just fall on the track behind them. It's not like it's gonna get run over or like
you're not gonna hit the car behind.
Yeah, which I don't know. I can understand why the F1 don't ever want to use like loads of race series. They don't ever let drones overfly a like live circuit, if you know what I mean. No,
Yeah,
it
it's-
doesn't.
Too much to go wrong.
Yeah, it's just, and the amount of money that is involved with it, I don't think it'll ever be like a viable thing, to be honest.
Do you have a GPS in there, or are you?
Yeah, it's got
yeah.
a little M10 like Q, I think it is in there.
What's the return to home if things do go completely awry? I mean, I imagine you've probably gotten happy on the throttle at least once and gotten a little bit too far to see what's going on, because that's bound to happen when you're testing the drone out, right? Is it able to get back home and land itself, or is that
Oh
expected?
yeah. Like new beta flight's so good with like GPS rescue and everything, and it will come and land. But the speed that it goes up to, whatever you set the height, was the first time I was just testing it with failsafe. It was extremely like
Like a firework.
yeah, you're just like right, like because I didn't realize it had been going up higher, and obviously then it sets from the base, doesn't it? And it was went up probably a bit higher than I should do in like 1 or 2 seconds, and I was like, holy hell, like and you just like
You just hear this kind of something that sounds like a strangled synthesizer.
yeah, and it's just like like very high up, very fast. So that was
Yeah.
a bit of an eye opener. So
Spicy.
yeah, but no, I don't know. Overall, it's I guess like I haven't flown loads of sort of wings and similar things to that, but like I think if you, I don't know, with quads, I always seem to like give it a bit of throttle, but then I chill as well. Whereas like wings and fixed wing stuff, you need to be going fast the whole time, don't you? So it's, I don't know, just quite a different experience, I guess, to fly compared to normal quads. But
I don't know. Got a big enough wing, you can kind of slow right down.
yeah.
What KV? What KV are the motors? Are they just like 2600?
These are 1950. These are
1950.
yeah.
Yeah, Tony was born.
Yeah,
Is that with a 5-inch prop on it?
yeah.
And what size are the motors?
2808.
Ooh, that's a chunky motor then. So you've got like a motor you'd normally see on like a 7-inch quad.
7-inch.
But is it driving 7-inch prop as well?
No, just 5 inches.
5-inch prop on a 7-inch motor running at 8S. So plenty of torque on that.
Yeah.
So you could go faster then with a more KV, but then you'd probably cane more battery, I suppose, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Or
it's
start melting the shellac off
When does
the
the prop
winding.
go hypersonic? That's usually the limitation, isn't it?
yeah. But like at the moment, you can like there's
Transonic, brother.
the like the XT60 is warm, after being a few punches.
Oh.
So I think you just probably have to start going towards like, I don't know, XT90, and there isn't really space for that. I don't know. At the moment, it seems like it depends what you want to do. If you want to go the fastest ever, you'd probably make, like a carbon. There's a guy called, is it Fast Boy? And he's made like a carbon shell, and the arms are sort of tucked a lot further underneath the drone for just, going in, like, obviously.
It's that like profiled carbon where you get the cloth and like shape it to what you've got as a 3D print there and make it.
Yeah. But even
Zero.
like sort of the actual arms on it, on that one, are like tucked right underneath it. So it's just it'll be a lot sort of slimmer profile, and it's going to be a lot more aero. And
But a lot harder to steer as well.
Yeah, you're not. For me, it's pointless really. The top speed is like fine already. It's more like handling and sort of the efficiency of it is a lot more important to me now. But even I don't know, like it's such like a niche thing in itself, really. Like I don't know, most of the time I probably wouldn't need it unless I'm chasing F1 cars, and then you're only going to do 1 or 2 shots with like follow cam, and then you're going to be doing a different variety of shots. So it is like super niche thing, to be honest.
What's it like doing like a 180-degree flip turn, like at high throttle on that thing?
Oh, I haven't done it going like at full throttle, like just eased off each time and sort of, just done Yeah, I haven't experimented with it that much, I guess.
I guess what I'm wondering is when does it start to shake? I mean, have you got that far, or are you just kind of coaxing it very carefully through because it's such a pain to rebuild? Obviously, if it
Yeah, I do like really harsh, like some like more orbits and like I don't know, I guess like a 180 sort of, not like more like a really hard split S. Like I don't really try and do those going full throttle because I'd never do it if that would make sense. So I haven't.
Yeah, you don't need to do it for the role that you're putting it to.
Yeah, but like it when it's doing really sort of hard aggressive orbits, you can hear it as well, just not trilling, but I don't know. It's you can tell it's under like a lot of I guess G-force or whatever to to be doing those kind of moves compared to like normally, and you can as well you can see obviously going a lot slower, but the amp draw fucking like some
makes it known it's not happy.
Yeah, so
that's interesting. So like hard cornering, you'll actually see the higher amp draw rather than just like the
going in sort of more
Nice. Right, we got a load of questions here.
Yeah.
So the first one was FX Node asking dual rates for low to high speed.
I don't. What are my rates? Sorry, what do you say? Dual rates.
Dual rates.
Dual rate.
Low sensitivity or high sensitivity. I mean, do you swap between them on the radio?
I run probably about 300-400 degrees for this. So if you want it quite slow, the fast. I don't know, with these quads, the faster you're moving, the slower you want your rates. I'd say, because like I don't know, if I feel like even probably beat flight defaults like being 670 would it just feel way too twitchy. Like you don't want to sort of do any really sudden moves with it, I guess. So
what are you saying? 350 degrees?
Around about like 350. I find like as well. It's sort of it's very much. I know you preempt stuff, but it's everything kind of needs to be preemptive, if you know what I mean. Being reactive with it just doesn't work in the slightest.
Steer into everything.
Yeah, but like obviously on the track, you know where the corners are, etc., etc. Like if it was just, I don't know, maybe if it was like really, I don't know what boats can do, but I think that would be extremely tricky. Doing or planes or something similar to that would be quite hard to.
There you are, FX Node. You don't need rates any higher than 350. There you are. Craft. What was the next question, Jack?
It's more of a comment. It was Magic Wenzel said flying corn, and then Robert said strong enough for a man, but made for a woman.
Quite girthy.
And followed up with, I would hate to see anyone come into the chat not really knowing what we're talking about and seeing that. And Magic Wonderful asks, is the camera angle connected to throttle or a separate switch like a slider or whatnot?
Yeah, I just got it on a 3-position switch. So I have it like probably about 10 degrees, like probably about 45, and then around like 70 or something similar to that.
That's pretty cool.
Is it tricky to land? Because obviously it's not like you can just put it down and it will sit there. It's gonna fall over one way or the other, isn't it? With its pointiness.
With the low camera angle, it's actually like really easy. Like it's not. You just sort of. It's a bit weird because obviously it's so much higher up than the normal quad, but it like you get a gauge for it and just cutting and it's fine, to be honest.
Do you land on the ground, or do you have any sort of soft landing zones just to save the prints?
No, it's like honestly, because the camera angle's so low, you can see that it's like. I'm not saying it's to land as a whoop or there's no. It's not like you come in and ditching it ever. It's like coming in really controlled, and it's
Yeah.
like I wish I could put a servo on all my quads. It's so much easier to, if you like some of the other ones that I use that haven't got servos on, and you're just running a high camera angle, and you say if you got to wait somewhere, you're just doing so many weird moves to just try and stay in the same place a lot.
You try and spot your own head, and because that's the tallest thing if there's no trees next to you.
Oh, it's horrible, and just being able to just put it at a low camera angle, and something's coming, and you can just flick it to something high is just game changing, really.
Yeah, I run most of mine at 45, some of them at 35. But there's occasions when I've just had to just ditch it at my feet a bit because I didn't really know how far away the ground was. So what have we got? We've got a comment from Numbskull saying Master Air Screw do a lot of handy prop pictures.
Yeah. And APC, is it? Is it APC?
Yeah. The plane guys.
Yeah.
Stubbsy's wondering if you have any footage of it that you can share in flight.
I've got one of a Formula 3 car that I could probably share.
Go on. If you got it kicking around, that would be lovely.
I did have a little look on your Instagram, but I just didn't see it. I kind of saw a Formula 1.
While you're digging out the footage, FX Node's wondering if you use Gyroflow to tidy up any of the wobbles.
Yeah, it's all run through Gyroflow.
Absolute godsend.
Yeah. How do
why would you not?
Screen on here, sorry.
It's under the present tab if you got it.
You can share a window or the whole screen or whatever works for you.
Not video file. What is it? Oh, share screen.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hold on.
Letting the secrets out. So now you've been.
I'm upset. I'm upset.
Yeah, Tony's starting a Kickstarter.
I'm not. Don't lie to everyone.
How much do you need?
I thought Jack started the Kickstarter for Tony.
Yeah, I thought that.
What's actually happened there?
I can do if you want. How much do you need to
for,
buy?
Tony? Hair transplant.
Yeah.
Oh, you can talk.
I can. That's why I'm making the joke.
Hair transplants.
No, I'm just annoyed that my airsoft place is shut down. So
How much do you need to buy the place?
Oh God, no!
Let fully grown men run around with guns and pretend they're soldiers. Come on!
Oh, it's so good. You should do it.
You can just do airsoft anywhere, just like.
Oh yeah, it was just
down the local petrol
up the
station
road.
or an off license and have a go. Yeah, it'll be fine.
Is that
real
low
war?
priced?
Oh,
is that right? No.
Kinda.
That's infinity.
Yeah,
is that working?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can see your screen.
Oh.
Say what you see. Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, sorry, I forget.
We have a quad following a very fast car.
Imola, just following some of the sort of rookies in the F3 cars that were
that was
going around.
That's nice.
It's so smooth.
Yeah,
no, just playing it again now.
So, can you tell us what sort of speeds they're going as they come out the corner there? And
I don't actually know off the top of my head, to be quite honest, but I don't know. They're probably we weren't really pushing it. It's not a great track, Imola, because there's so many trees everywhere, so it's quite hard to spot the cars.
Right next to people's houses there as well.
Yeah. Coming through. It's probably getting up to maybe 250. It's not super fast like any of these.
So they're going to be doing almost 100 through the corners, I'd have thought, because that's fairly typical, isn't it?
Yeah, on the straights, probably going up to maybe 250 or something similar to here. Like here,
it's pulling away.
Yeah. and I sort of leave him there because it would have been out of line of sight as well. So it's a sort of.
It didn't look like you were having trouble following them. It was quite impressive, the command. It was just, it looked very intentional, like you weren't stretching yourself to keep up with the car.
No, like it. The hardest thing, honestly, is like dropping in behind them and like sort of knowing that you're gonna, because you're coming in hot, knowing that you're gonna sort of approach it at a reasonable speed, not to overshoot it. You sort of have to really back off after like throttling down, which it just feels such a like a bizarre thing to do. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's just quite scary throttling into the ground, I guess.
Yeah. And he's just about to enter a corner as well. So he's still slowing down.
Yeah, it's really tricky to like gauge. It's not like Imola, to be honest, probably wouldn't be like the
place to do it.
Yeah, you want sort of something with some nice long straights and like if it was really tight corners again, I think you'd struggle if there was. Yeah, I haven't flown it loads and loads compared to normal quads to know exactly how it's gonna behave, if that makes sense. So it's still like taking slow steps with it all.
What tracks are best in terms of line of sight? Because obviously you mentioned there you lost line of sight and backed off the car. What track can you cover most of the track? In line of sight.
Bahrain's not too bad because you can get up to like high positions there. Silverstone isn't too bad for like, but like the wings are quite large. If you know where the pits are, quite large, so it really like disrupts the signal over those ones. Because like say when the Dutch drone guys gods did theirs is all with like a relay system off like DJI Inspire. So
they're relaying analog, weren't they?
Yeah. Trying to think what other like the smaller circuits in the UK are like quite good for it. I don't know. There's like I don't know if you know Anglesey, and again at like the Top Gear test track in Dunsfold. That's just like a massive open runway is really good for like more like line of sight across the whole circuit.
I've gone round there in the Porsche with a Stig.
Yeah, with Ben Collins.
Good.
Can you will you be doing any stuff with Drive Tribe or like like or Alex or Top Dead Center, any of those guys? Would you want to?
Done one or two things with Drive Tribe and like doing some just like the Top Gear. I guess it's all that's online now, like magazine shoots and similar things to that. And they did like some of their last Grand Tours and bits like that. But it's just weird. It's just like all the sort of those shows have just stopped at the same time, if you know what I mean.
After the incident.
Yeah. So no, hopefully the like Grand Tour does come back, but God knows what will ever happen with Top Gear. I think, I don't know, sort of run its course. We did do like an Australian version one.
Did you meet Moog? What's his name? Oh God,
Jack.
I want to say, oh God, Benjamin, but it's not. It's oh God, Moog.
You were stuck in a really good. I'm going to take a picture of that.
While Jack's looking that up, I was going to say I thought the Grand Tour is coming back in the form of a program called Not the Grand Tour or something.
Yeah, they were trying to get different presenters to do it, but I don't think they found like a nice combination of people that chemistry worked well together. So I don't know if that's
Blair.
You can't copy.
Yeah,
You
Bear.
can't do
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Blair.
It just doesn't work, does it?
Yeah.
Magic Pencil wants to know about Brands Hatch. saying that would be cool. What's a smaller circuit, I guess. Would you be able to track
Yeah.
them all the way around Brands?
Like,
Yeah, there's just again at brands. I think depending on which circuit you do, there's a lot of tree lined. There's like a bigger loop. I don't know. It depends which one you do, but there's a lot of tree lined around the back. So again, you'd have to have a repeater system if you wanted to do that.
Aren't you? It looks like you're
Yeah, a bit of
pretty
crane.
high. Would you be below tree level there? I couldn't really
Brands
tell how
have-
far you were off the deck.
Yeah. You'd be below tree level. Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
really want to lose signal when you're going pretty fast with it.
No.
Either. So it's try and play it as safe as possible. Yeah.
yeah, it was Blake, the that's his name, Moog.
Okay.
From they had him on. They brought him in on Top Gear Australia.
Yeah. No, the Australian guys are like they're good fun. Just
Yeah,
I don't know, seem to mess about a lot more than I don't know. They just want to have fun rather than present like a TV show a lot of the time.
yeah,
I think that was some of the best content on that type of show. It was Top Gear. I remember when I was a kid, it was this deadly serious car show where people talked about the quality of the window winders on cars, and it really struggled to find its niche until people just started arsing around a bit more.
Yeah. No,
it's a fine line. You got to have a bit of messing around,
Yeah.
but also,
Appreciation
Yeah.
of risk at the same time, which
Yeah.
is what did for it.
yeah. You got to be messing around for the cameras, if you know what I mean,
yeah,
rather than just messing around. Is that like I don't know? It's a bit yeah.
True.
yeah.
So it's like
I
what
always-
people say about comedy. If you're having a great time filming comedy, then it probably isn't going to be funny to the audience.
Yeah. But no,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just like the time we live in. I don't know if that format works as well. Like nowadays, especially with all the amount of YouTube content and whatever, right? I don't know.
So much, isn't there?
Yeah.
Do you think it's watered down entertainment at all?
Oh yeah, definitely. The stuff on TV.
Yeah,
It's difficult to do a 30-minute show when someone can do like a 30-second sound bite and get a huge amount of media attention for that.
Yeah. A lot of the time with like the certain things, obviously, it's not. There's scripts, if you know what I mean. A lot that they're following, so it's I don't know. Maybe not so much the old ones, but like the new ones, it was very like just going through the motions a bit.
Yeah.
yeah.
So no, I don't know. Just have to see what
Well,
happens.
everything
in the future.
runs its course. There's very few TV series where they're as fresh on Series 10 as they are on Series 1, and so that's just how things naturally run. And I'm sure
Well,
there's
it's
been
like
people
this
that
show,
have
isn't it,
taken the
really?
baton, and there's still people interested in cars. There will be a TV show about cars. It's just a question of what it's going to look like.
Oh yeah. Dunno.
It's more of a TV show about farming now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing quite, I think they're doing quite well.
No, yeah, it's great. It's crazy. Like just the amount of people that go to his farm shop and stuff is just
Mental.
I was
insane.
surprised by how popular it was amongst farmers. Apparently, they just hadn't had like a loudmouth on their side before shouting
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah. Well, I think it helps that
Okay.
he's got the budget to do anything. He just, obviously records some TV stuff and then
Yeah.
wastes money farming and
Well, it's more like, well,
And
let's
opening a
spend
pub.
200 grand doing this. This is what you're supposed to do. Look, I've just lost all my bloody money. How are you supposed to run a business like that?
yeah.
As he struck a chord with a bunch of farms and see why.
No.
Did you do any filming for that show?
Yeah, I've done a few things on the farm before. We'd actually like the last harvest one, we were like just filming with the Mavics, and because of the sensors on it, it was going from dusk to night, and just had the sensors on, but the lights on the combine like startled the drone, and it couldn't move
Ooh.
in the slightest, and it ended up just going and hitting the
Bloody
wind
Mavics.
like the windscreen of the combine harvester.
Oh,
You gotta get
no.
freestyle one out, mate. Gotta fucking
Yeah.
orbit that combine harvester. Go for it. Manual.
So
Yeah, you
No,
fly
that was
rate,
it.
mate. Fly rate.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
probably needed a good camera though.
Mm.
At dusk.
Well, now you've got the O4s, you can just slap one of them in. I'll
Yeah.
catch up with your Mavic soon enough.
Yeah, but no, it's just I don't know. It's very like sort of I feel like it's becoming more of a niche thing that they use FPV generally for filming. You know, on TV, it's usually like an action sequence, or you know, like
Challenging
it's
environment.
yeah. I think long gone are the days. Like everyone knows what FPV is now. Like it's so mainstream, isn't it? That it's only
Doesn't
sort of
feel like it.
no.
No. Stubbsy asks, he says, I know Andrew does a lot of mountain bike stuff. How does he do the hard line with all the wood sections and stuff?
Usually just film like sections of it, to be honest. To be fair, even from like the opposite hillside, you can fly like nearly like 99% of the course through the trees. It's
Yeah.
just obviously being on a mountain and trying to film the same mountain, you're never going to get like the best reception through it, to be honest.
I guess you're not getting as far away as you would if you were in a car.
No.
If that.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I'd say probably mountain biking's my favourite stuff to film, to be honest. Usually, it's, if you're not like just on a shoot, it's just you and a filmer or two, and just like the guys that are riding. It's like no hassle, and just like, I don't know, just going up somewhere nice and just having a good time, to be honest.
They got a helmet, they're all armoured up.
Yeah.
You know, if they
Got
fall off
goggles
a
on,
bike,
yeah.
if they fall off a bike, that is way more of a concern than you even coming anywhere near them.
Yeah.
They do it live as well. They cut to live bits of the drone. I think
Yeah.
they did in the New Zealand.
Yeah. They did all like they do all crankworks and everything now, don't they?
Mm.
We're going out to like Dark Fest in about 2 weeks.
Nice.
A big one in South Africa to go and
Yeah.
film all those guys do the 100-foot jumps and all that
Yeah,
crazy
nuts,
stuff.
It's so
Yeah.
crazy. They are.
What do you use for the mountain bike footage? What's your go-to rig for that?
It's just normal, like 5-inch, like little sort of. Well, I'd say freestyle, you know, just sort of normal 5-inch rig.
Fantastic.
Yeah, like that's
Looks like an AOS design with those braces.
yeah. Just trying that and
Let's
just,
have a look. Hey. That, all the bracing in the world.
yeah.
Don't show your flyer ID.
No,
Or an AOS
it's
7.
just a little serial numbers on those. So, yeah, we're just trying out to see what different braces actually do to the noise. Really, with it, it's just like a little sort of test rig, but because you run such low camera angle and probably running like, I don't know, what's that, like fucking
Almost
five-
negative.
5 degrees.
Five,
and it,
five
like,
degrees, if that.
yeah,
Like.
but the GoPro's like pretty much at 0. That I don't know. There's just something about the way, I guess, because most people fly like the standard sort of frame. You're just so used to that it just flies in like a really nice way for filming bikes and whatever else, I guess.
Dead easy to replace parts as well.
Yeah.
What's been your favourite filming experience?
Don't
You
know
enjoyed
really. Done loads of pretty crazy things, to be honest. I don't know. Got to fly at Downing Street at the back of end
Really?
last year for when they were doing the election. Don't know.
Where were you flying around Downing Street? I thought there'd be someone knocking you out the sky pretty smartish. That's a very unusual one.
Well, Traffy got away with it.
Well, yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. Guess it should be, but I wonder how much they even knew I was there, if you know what I mean, with it.
Right. What do you
Yeah.
use for that? Was it just a little whoop or something?
Yeah, just a little sub 250. We've got one kicking about. Just to like reels.
You do look like you're inside a
Nice.
Chinese shipping crate. Your
Yeah.
your background, like it just needs a bit of OSB
I like
and
the little,
foam,
lightning
and
bolt on the wall.
it looks like you just need like a spray paint this way up in red on
Around
like the back
yeah.
wall. Yeah. Just really sort of.
Yeah, you just don't want to see the rest of the room that's just covered in absolute chaos from building and 3D printing and
Carefully
Yeah.
constructed camera angles. I'm very familiar with this.
yeah.
I've bought a grow tent, lads. Hang on.
What? They grow your own mushrooms.
I don't know, like whatever, like
Whatever's in there, mate. Just let it be damp and sweaty
Yeah,
for a while. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just,
I can't imagine what the hell he's growing.
Dread to think.
no, I'm not growing anything. It's for a 3D printer.
Ah.
But it is.
Wow.
It is a grow tent, lads.
Why for you mean like a resin printer you've got?
No, it's so I can print some ABS. I wanted to
Oh right.
give that a go.
Stinky, dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Get the hose out the window.
Yeah, I've got like a little bento box and that. I'm thinking about maybe building a 3D printer. And yeah.
What's for ABS? What are you going to do with the ABS?
Print apart so I can build my own printer, like a Voron. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
A lot of
series on
minis.
YouTube.
Be nice.
God, it's
And
already
if you get really fed up, turn that ventilation thing off. Yeah.
yeah. Just stick my head in it. Like I've had to like heated inserts and
Oh
stuff.
my
and
god.
yeah, like fucking hell, man. Like soldering irons that are blunt. Yeah, so it's just a bit of a mission, really.
I've done the inserts on the end of a soldering iron. That's a bit of a giggle.
Yeah. Don't forget which ones you've heated up and which ones you haven't, because I did that. Heated one up, it fell off. Put another one on, picked it up, it was still hot, and like just burnt the fuck into my fingers.
Shouldn't
The
laugh.
worst.
Shouldn't laugh.
Well, I feel like Lurgy. Lurgy, if you listen to this, I feel like you with a magical grow tent. Not to out you, but
No, sorry.
Stubbsy has another question. He'd like to know about the Attenborough filming that you did. Could you tell us about that?
Oh, Lord Attenborough.
Yeah. So I did. First one was like Green Planet a few years ago. We were filming in the jungle. And then I've done quite a few things for like Netflix. Is it Our Planet? And then last year done one for the new Blue Planet that should be. Is that out this year or next year?
Sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's a good fun. The last one was in Iceland in the winter. And
Oh my god.
Not as pleasant as out in the jungle somewhere.
No, but
Less malaria.
yeah. When you're just trying to fly and you're getting like literally bitten to holy hell, and you're trying to.
Yeah, I don't know what I'd prefer. Being cold or being too hot and bitten. I don't know. And just maybe a snake.
I was just thinking more about the spectacle of it, the things you must have seen out in the jungle, some of the fantastic.
It's crazy. It's just like just being
and
in
the noises.
The proper jungle. Just feel like everything's a living sort of entity around you. It's insane. And like even at night, there'll be just because loads of trees always just fall down and rot. There'll be like sounds like Godzilla or something's coming through. These massive
this thing's smashing over in the middle of the night. And
yeah,
you're like, well, that's fine.
Yeah, I think like the jungle environment's probably one of my favorite environments to be in. Really, it's just
Did you get
Especially,
all Rambo-y and like, you know, Predator and like rub dirt all over you? And because I'd get a bit feral, I'd start attacking Tony.
Jack gets Sparrow walking down the high street, to be fair.
Yeah.
not well. I don't know. Wore some pretty much was wearing nets over everything. Like even
Yeah.
trying to put nets over my hands.
It's the
to stop
same as
them
Scotland,
getting,
though, isn't it?
I think
Don't
the
know.
jungle might be slightly harsher than Scotland. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not to
The gnats and it's
pour
in
cold
Scotland
water on our
are
Scottish brethren,
terrible.
but still.
Does bug spray not do anything? Is it just no?
no.
Shut up.
You have to
Yeah,
light
but
fires.
it's pointless wearing it after a while. It's like, I think just because
Because
you
you're
probably
sweating
sweat,
all the time anyway,
Yeah.
aren't you?
so it's like there's no point putting it on. So you're just getting eaten alive pretty much the whole time. Yeah, especially flying FPV because you're not moving, you can't really swat anything easily. So you
Oh,
just
well,
like,
yeah.
So in the
Yeah.
middle of it, how many times you like bitten in the middle of a shoot and you just can't move? You just got to keep smooth, keep smooth, keep
oh
smooth.
yeah, because it's you're doing such, especially like those things, you know, just flying through canopies and whatever. You're doing such like you're hardly on the sticks really. So it's not like you can like jerk anywhere. You're just being, I don't know, like a surgeon at like a lot of the time.
It's flowy and slow and nice.
Yeah, which flying really slow and smooth is actually quite hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, to not have any
With
kind
stuff
of
eating you alive.
yeah bumps. But no, the one in
Any-
not Scotland, in Iceland was pretty insane because it was obviously we were filming storms. Like quite a lot of time you couldn't actually stand up because it was so windy, and then trying to fly and it was just like,
Yeah, I can't stand up. Time to fly.
right, yeah, just flying it for like trying to give yourself of enough punch to try and level the drone out so it isn't like everything's pretty much at like 90-degree horizon if filming. But yeah,
Did you
dunno.
see any crazy animals like lions, tigers, leopards, panthers?
Yeah.
Cheetahs.
Any Yetis?
No, not
Right,
in
yeah.
Echo. We did another thing with Nat Geo in we went to Botswana, and that's the first time I've ever been like on safari or anything like that. And we were like literally sleeping in the middle of like the wilderness with elephants and
Oh, I
like
love that.
hyenas and whatever else just going around. It's just insane, man. Yeah, so
It's
Sounds
crazy.
absolutely
That'd be good.
fantastic. I feel like we could go another hour. So,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're rolling the credits to thank our wonderful Patreons already. But yeah, oh wow, I have so many more questions. So,
Yeah.
No.
It feels like you've only just warmed up and we could milk you more. You're like primed. And there's just like,
I want to ask you what you're doing for National Geographic, and maybe
Yeah.
if you do have enough time, we could do a part 2 and talk about the documentary stuff and filming in all these unusual locations, as well as the high speed chase. I feel like we've done justice to high speed chase, but if you ever want to come on again, it would be fantastic to talk about the other stuff as well.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, just give us the hardest thing is me is planning my time because it's so like last minute for jobs. I don't I feel bad,
Yeah, of course.
saying to you guys, I'm going to come on
Yeah.
and then just cancel.
Mhm.
You know.
Oh, I understand absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing from you, Andy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No,
Thank you
cheers
for
having us,
making.
guy. I just can't wait to listen to some more when I'm driving about up and down the country and flying places.
Cheers.
Bless you. Thank you.
Cheers,
Thanks for
guys.
making time for our the second best podcast. It means a lot.
I'm going to find out who that #1 podcast actually is, because I've never
Yeah,
heard of them.
we're gonna fucking email them and be like, "Fuck you guys." No worries. Anyway, sorry, editor, for the cussing.
You're doing so
Thank
well.
you, and you've been listening to Let's Drone Out. A massive thank you to all our wonderful Patreons. At the moment, Let's Drone Out is only £94 in debt. So if you fancy becoming a Patreon, so that
For
we
the
can
number
pay
2 drone podcast, then
For the number 2.
you know what you can do if you give us that push.
Yes, to pay back Frank. We owe Frank. We've got under £100. We're getting there, but yes, if you can support for as little as £3.99 per week, you can sponsor a Tony to play airsoft and pay Frank back. Anyway, thank you. You've been listening to Let's Throw Out. You've been joined by everyone's favourite Curry Kitten. Tony, do an impression of Curry Kitten. Say goodbye.
Bye.
The man with the moustache, Stephen.
Cheers. Thanks, everyone. Have a good night.
Our wonderful guest, Andrew Lawrence.
Cheers, guys.
Which is also, check out, he's Andrew Lawrence, Andrew J. Lawrence on Instagram. And I think your company is Mindscape Films. Is that right?
No,
Yeah,
really
so
use
Take
that.
the mic, Andy. Tell us where we can find more about you.
Yeah.
Don't know. Instagram when I can be bothered to put. I don't know. I've sort of, I don't know, not dropped off, but you know, when you just,
Yeah.
Get
I'm
bored.
not so
Yeah.
don't care about socials as much anymore.
Fantastic. That's
No
the
worries.
sign of a man who has plenty of work lined up. I
Yeah.
hope that is indeed the case. All the best, Andy.
Yep.
Cheers, guys.
My darling wife, Tony.
Bonjour.
And I've been bright until I fly. You've listened to Let's Throw Out. Thank you. Good night.
Cheers.
Bye.